Okay, in this video, we're going to prove the alternate formula for the curvature of a vector function. And first, I'm just going to write down the formula, both formulas that we have for curvature. So we know that curvature is the magnitude of t prime of t, where t is an arbitrary parameter, divided by the magnitude of r prime of t. And in previous videos, I said, well, there is an alternate formula that works really well when r of t is a vector function with polynomial components. And that alternative formula, which is what we're going to prove in this video, is as follows. That is the magnitude of r prime of t crossed with r double prime of t divided by the magnitude of r prime of t cubed. And here, of course, we have r of t is a differentiable vector function. So we want to prove this new alternative definition with the cross product of the derivative and the second derivative. And I'm going to start the proof by going back to our definition of the tangent vector. So we know that the unit tangent vector is equal to the derivative of our vector function divided by its magnitude, right? So it tells us the direction in which the vector function is pointing. And that will be the start of my proof because this definition allows us to rewrite this statement if we multiply both sides by the magnitude of r prime, right? So if I multiply both sides by this denominator, we can rewrite this statement as r prime of t is equal to the magnitude of r prime of t times the vector function t, times our tangent vector. And this is how we're going to start the proof, with this representation of r prime. And what we want to do is we want to find the second derivative, because we know that our alternative definition involves the cross product of the first and the second derivative of r. And we're also going to find the cross product and see where that leads us. So I'm basically working with this expression here in the numerator. I'm going to try to figure out what does this give us that maybe might get us close to the idea that this expression is in fact an expression for curvature. So from our definition here of r prime, which comes from the unit tangent, we know that we can find the second derivative, r double prime of t, using a product rule. Note that here we have a scalar function times a vector function, so we can use a product rule that says the following. We can leave the first function, magnitude of r prime of t, and multiply that by t prime, and to that we're going to add the derivative with respect to t of the magnitude of r prime of t, right, which is a scalar function with t as our independent variable, times t. So there's our expression using the product rule for differentiation that tells us what the second derivative of r looks like. And now we're going to write down an expression for the cross product of r prime of t crossed with r double prime of t using these two expressions above. So r prime of t we know is the magnitude of r prime of t times the tangent vector. And we're doing the cross product of this with r double prime, which is in the previous line, and that is magnitude of r prime of t times t prime of t plus the derivative with respect to t of the magnitude of r prime of t times the vector t. Okay, now some time ago we saw that the cross product has a distributive property, and I'm going to use that next to try to work on this expression. So we're going to use that. The cross product is distributive, and I'm going to apply this property below. So basically what I'm going to do is this factor will distribute through this one as well as this one. So this is, the cross product is distributive over addition. And so we have the following for the cross product of r prime and r double prime. We will have first the cross product of r prime of t times t crossed with the first term here, which is the magnitude of r prime of t times t prime. And to that expression, we're going to add, I'm just going to use a different color here since we'll work on the two expressions a little bit differently. Here we're going to have the magnitude of r prime of t times t crossed with the derivative with respect to t of the magnitude of r prime times t. So let's look at this expression in blue. Notice that both of these vectors have some kind of scalar function times a vector t, the same vector t, which means that the two vectors that we're doing the cross product here are parallel because they both have, both are scalar times t. So these are both vectors are a scalar function times the same vector t, which means that they are parallel. And the cross product of two parallel vectors is 0. We can't form a cross product when the vectors are parallel. Or another way to think of it, we know the magnitude of a cross product is the magnitude of one vector times the other times the sine of the angle between them. But if the vectors are parallel, the angle is 0 or 180 and sine is 0. And so this will equal to 0. So the cross product of parallel vectors is just 0. We can think of this as the 0 vector. That would be fine. But it's going to be 0 no matter what. So we're going to focus on the expression, the other addend. So right now, if we write the full statement that we have that our cross product, that's what we were starting with, of r prime of t crossed with r double prime of t is equal to this addend. So the cross product of r prime of t times t crossed with magnitude of r prime of t times t prime. And from here, I'm actually going to write the magnitude of the cross product. So we're going to take the expression above and write the magnitude of r prime of t crossed r double prime of t. So let's recall that the magnitude of a cross product, that's going to be the magnitude of what we have on the right side also. Right, so this will be the magnitude, I'm going to write it with one bar just to distinguish, of r prime of t times t crossed with r prime of t times t prime. Okay, but the cross product here on the right, if I'm finding its magnitude, I know that this will be the magnitude of one of the vectors times the magnitude of the other vector, by definition of the magnitude of the cross product, times the sine of the angle, oops, I didn't mean to do two bars there, times the sine of the angle between the two vectors. I'm going to call that theta for now. But notice that each of these two vectors, right, so these two vectors whose magnitude we're finding contain t and t prime. It's a scalar times t prime. And we know that t and t prime are perpendicular vectors because the tangent vector is a unit vector. And any time that we have a vector of a constant magnitude, it will be perpendicular to its derivative. Okay, that means that theta is just pi over 2, and we know that sine of pi over 2 is equal to 1. And so we can replace this with just a 1, and let's write down what we have so far then. We've got so from above, that the magnitude of r prime of t crossed with r double prime of t is equal to, I need to write this expression because sine of pi over 2 is just 1. And so that's going to give us, well, let's think about this. I'm going to rewrite this again. R prime of t times t, magnitude r prime of t, t prime. This is all a magnitude, and so the magnitude of t here is 1 because t is a unit vector. And so here we're going to get, out of all this magnitude, we're going to get a magnitude of r prime of t squared times t prime, right? This is 1. The magnitude of t is 1. So we don't have to worry about that. And now we have the following equation. Oops, that didn't slide. Now we have the following equation. We have that the magnitude of r prime of t crossed with r double prime of t is equal to the magnitude of r prime of t squared times vector t prime. I'm going to solve for vector t prime and rewrite this as, so divide both sides by the magnitude of r prime of t squared, and we get that t prime of t is the magnitude of r prime of t crossed with the magnitude of with r double prime of t magnitude divided by the magnitude of r prime of t squared. Okay, great. Now, let's remember, we were trying to get an expression for curvature. So we can recall here that curvature, which we denote by kappa, is the magnitude of t prime of t divided by the magnitude of r prime of t. Actually, I should have had, this should be a magnitude here and a magnitude here, and this should also be a magnitude. I missed that, which changes things a little bit. So that comes from the fact that we had magnitudes at this level of all the vectors, and I needed to carry that magnitude down to the magnitude of t prime. Okay, so that means that the curvature is, I'm going to replace the numerator with the expression that we found here for the magnitude of t prime. So that will give me the magnitude of r prime of t crossed with r double prime of t divided by the magnitude of r prime of t squared. And we're dividing all of that by the magnitude of r prime. And so that's going to give us, in the denominator, the magnitude of r prime cubed. And so we have come to our alternative formula for curvature, which is the magnitude of r prime of t crossed with the magnitude of r double prime of t divided by the magnitude of r prime of t cubed. And that is our alternative formula. Again, I mentioned earlier that this formula is really useful when r of t is a polynomial vector function. Also note that this can also be written as, since r prime of t also represents the velocity vector of the vector function, and r double prime of t is the acceleration vector of our vector function, we could also write curvature by replacing, instead of writing r prime and r double prime above, we can write the magnitude of the velocity vector crossed with the acceleration vector divided by the magnitude of velocity cubed. And now we have the alternative definition of curvature.